A very good evening once again. Thank you for joining us for the UBC News Tonight, the 10 o'clock edition. With me, Wadulo, Mark, Arnold. Let's take a look at the headlines before we start the bulletin. In our UBC Tonight, ESC heads of state meeting in Burundi demand a cessation of hostilities in DRC. Furthermore, Prime Minister Nabanja urges parents to send children to school on the first day. First Lady inaugurates 10th Council of Makerere University. And UPDF pays tribute to fallen FRONASA fighters. It's now time for the news. East African region leaders have renewed their call for an immediate ceasefire by all sides on the conflict in East African Democratic Republic of Congo. The summit in Burundi's capital, Bujumbura, was attended by East African heads of state, with Salva Kiir missing, but represented by the Minister of East African Affairs, Deng Alor Kuol. The communique was issued after the closed session in which the heads of state directed that immediate ceasefire by all parties be observed, withdrawal of all foreign armies and groups, and directed the chiefs of defense forces to meet within 1 week and set new timelines for the withdrawal and recommend appropriate deployment matrix. That this process be accompanied by dialogue, violations be reported to the chairperson of the summit for immediate consultation with members of the summit. These are the details. Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has asked parents and guardians in the country to ensure that they send their children to school on the first day tomorrow so that teaching can start. Nabanja made this call in the afternoon at Kamusenene Catholic Church in Koko sub-county in Kakumiro district during Sunday Mass.
Premier Robina Nabanja has expressed concern over delaying of children to school, a situation she says affects their concentration and performance.
Is to have our children go back to school, all of them. And also we talked about income generating activities. We are looking at parish development model and also encouraging our people to join the parish circle and to see that our children go back to school, and they should start on time tomorrow. And we're encouraging all the teachers to be at school, and we are also discouraging these school charges that have made our children drop out of school.
Nabanja challenged all believers to work hard and improve on their household income because it is key in the development of the church.
Household income. Then katane utwala yochi. Gwegoliao abantu babyati. Infundamira katama kachagenda ko. Atenda kuchalo ayenda ayina kuchi. Kasinoza tukapera ngo usabiliza. Obali kufena gwetoyina mikono okuwerera paka weyafuna primaries ate nga tasomye naye nga basinga busomyeko nga lwaki towerera mwana wo oba tuli ffenna Museveni agambye omwana muweretako omwana muwe yunifoomu omwana muwe mmere abaana baleme kusiba wamujjala.
Nabanja says members of parliament are on recess to check on the progress of the parish development model and promise to avail all the necessary guidelines to ensure that they monitor the progress.
Members of parliament are in recess, and this was an agreement between the speaker and the president, and of course we the ministers are also going to follow suit. We are going to give them guidelines so that they can know, one, what they expect from what they expect the parish to have got. Of course, we have sent money in all parishes in the country, but we are wondering whether this money has trickled down to the people, and they are going to monitor is an advantage to our program. So we believe when they come back with reports, these reports will give us the way forward to how to move in the second phase.
The Kamsenene village chairman Radson Chesanga says that they will comb the entire village so that all school-going children return to school.
Ayinatire muno abaana butasoma kandi obutasoma buleeterwa abazaire abakazi bekambira abaana baabo kubaweererera bayita abazaire abasajja omubutuufu tibafiiremu n'abaana baabo kandi nkaitwa aba chairman tufunira obusobozi bw'amaani nyenkya abaana baba batagenzera isomero ntujja kujja bulinju kubanja abaana abo abazaire abatatwere baana isomero ntujja kubatwala poliisi. Prime Minister ajja kubayiya poliisi kandi tajja kuyamba abazaire abagala bajja kuyongerayo igulu babasibe.
Reverend Father Matthias Sechanzi, who celebrated the Mass, asked all people of God to have a spirit of helping those in need because this is one of the greatest commandments of God.
The First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has challenged members of the new governing council for Makerere University to use their 4-year term to strive and build the character of the student body that will make Makerere a special university in Africa. These are some of the highlights.
Member Makerere University Council is chaired by Mrs. Lona Magara, while Honorable Dan Chidega is the vice chairperson. The council comprises of 3 government appointees, the vice-chancellor and his 2 deputies, university council appointees, plus representatives of the university senate, academic staff, administrative staff, and staff with disabilities. Others are representatives of various university committees and from the ministries of education and sports, finance and planning, and economic development, and ICT and national guidance.
If we want to make Makerere University a premier in the nation and elsewhere, we have to really be prepared to go that extra mile. Not just for innovation, not just for these other courses that people are doing at all universities, but to build a character that will be identified through all the student body from Makerere University.
Mrs. Museveni pointed out that the challenge about the African continent is that universities concentrate on only graduating professionals and leave out that special character that stand them out and make a mark on the country locally and compete globally.
The character of young Africans, both male and female, is what we need to strive to build wherever we are strategically placed by God.
The inauguration of the 10th Governing Council of Makerere University was hosted at State House Nakasero and was attended by members of the outgoing and new councils, State Minister for Education Dr. Jesse Muyingo, and senior technical officers from the Education and Sports Ministry, led by the Permanent Secretary Katie Lamaro. Mrs. Museveni congratulated the new council members and challenged them to have a renewed inspiration to make a mark on the premier university that will pass the test of time.
Fighting the evils in our society that are crippling our young generation such as sexual perversions, HIV and AIDS, and corruption. Fighting these evils is actually fighting one basic evil, which is failure to build individual self-control.
Mrs. Lona Magara, the chairperson, Makerere University Council, said that the outgoing council, which assumed office in December 2018, made significant strides in repositioning Makerere University for the century ahead, and now the new council is leveraging the momentum set in motion by the outgoing team to deliver a research-led university.
Honourable Minister, the outgoing council assumed office on the 18th of December 2018, and through its 4-year tenure, made significant strides in repositioning Makerere University for the century ahead. The new council is leveraging the momentum set in motion by the outgoing team to deliver the new strategic direction of a research-led Makerere University, positioning it to be a vital partner in the national transformation.
Reporting for UBC, Bagma William.
Furthermore, hundreds of people in Bulima Town Council, Masindi District, have received free treatment from the Masindi Field Artillery Division in commemoration of the 42nd Tarehe Sita. Tarehe Sita marks the day National Resistance Army launched an attack on Kabamba Barracks as part of their military campaign against Milton Obote-led government on February 6, 1981.
The Masindi Army Field Artillery Brigade Administrative Officer Colonel Alex Wadulo says they have offered free medical treatment to Bulima Town Council because of its strategic location.
The purpose of coming and picking Bulima as a place for this Tarehe Sita in the Bunyoro region was that Bulima is on a highway from Hoima to Masindi, and it has a hospital. This is where we get a lot of casualties who are rushed in that hospital. So the purpose of coming to this area was to ensure that we see the status of the hospital, give it capacity to handle those cases, and always report to Masini Military Hospital.
Colonel Alex Wadulo, who was representing the division commander during the medical treatment exercise, highlighted some of the services they have offered to the people.
Medical outreach, dental, vaccination of, immunization of children, and so many that I even have left the team to continue, because the clients are many. They could not be handled in the shortest time we had. But they will continue until all our people are covered.
IPDF officer Dr. Balai Farouk said that most of the cases they have found are mainly ulcers and urinary tract infections.
The turn-up is actually overwhelming. It's beyond what we expected, but we shall handle. We have a team ready and prepared to handle. We are stocked with counselors, we have the diagnostic team, we have the dispensing team and the laboratory team. We are equipped. I am sure by the end of the day we shall have managed and handled.
Some of the beneficiaries of the health camp say they have received free treatment and are thankful for this service.
Health camp eno etukonyeire muno hakwantu inaba kayikuru baingi nabantu baingi abatalina maana gakusobola kurubata bakagana bakagenda Masindi undi Hoima.
The mayor Bulima Town Council Osborne Bajunga thanked UPDF for cleaning their town and promised to pick from where the men in uniform have stopped from.
A 16-year-old boy who was born without arms has won himself pride in his community in Kole district. Innocent Odio, who uses his teeth and legs to write, bagged the super second grade in the recently released primary leaving examinations. Let's have a look.
16-year-old Innocent Odio was born without arms but uses his intellect to outcompete those lucky to be in possession of both hands. Just recently, the young man from Kole district wrote his primary leaving examinations using his teeth because he has no hands, and the rest is now history. He scored 15 aggregates, proving that disability should never be inability.
While I was drawing, I was also seeing the lines.
Born with 3 other siblings, Innocent recounts the rough times his mother faced following rejection by the community over his condition and discrimination.
There was a lot of words I heard which make me to cry a lot because it was my firstborn. I was expecting him to get less than 15 because he's very intelligent.
I had experience with him when he was in my school. He was very, very good student. He loves everyone. This showed to me that this boy is going to be somebody beneficial to all of us, to the country.
Although his target was to score a 4, a combination of factors including discrimination and his physical status disadvantaged him.
Because Matthias was given an extra time, but the speed he was using, you remember, you hold the pen using the teeth. At the same time, remember, all those are the component of the aid. You have to think, you have to write, you have to do other things. So could have also affected his thinking ability plus other pressure.
I want to go to DOC, but as per now, I have a sister that can help me, so I can go to any school.
Innocent has been a beneficiary of a bursary sponsorship by former Supreme Court Judge, the late Rubio Piaweri.
I felt sad and I lose all my hope, but now I have gained that hope again because his family has promised that they will fulfill his promise.
We consider this to be a gift to the family, and which attachment we cannot disengage now that Justice Opio is dead.
And the complaint that he also tell us that when he write for some minutes, he start feeling pain in his teeth, from his teeth. So that's why we are also seeking for some people that can afford to give him computer, because for him he is able to use computer.
He is asking well-wishers to come to his aid to allow him realize his ambition of being a lawyer.
It's about 75 centimeter high. So he have only one joint, one bone from down up to the hip. So he don't have joint, he don't have knee.
Innocent's experience is a big encouragement to others that disability is not inability. I'm Eddie Olua, reporting for UBC News.
Thank you, Eddie Olua. In other news, an interfaith week aimed at promoting peace and non-violence across communities has been organized by the Nile Dialogue platform to enhance harmonious coexistence in the country. Now, this initiative is to include a National Youth Symposium, visiting of families, interacting and exchange of ideas among various groups of people is expected to dominate the week-long interaction. Let's have a look.
Glad that we have also joined the United Nations organization, like we have been doing it for the last 10 years, to celebrate the beauty of unity and diversity.
The Nile is one of the 7 wonders of Africa and the longest river in the continent, estimated at 6,850 kilometers, with networks across 12 countries. The Nile supports a population of over 300 people with water, fish, navigation, and other water-related sources throughout the year. Like the River Nile, the Nile Dialogue Platform, a non-governmental organization that began its operation in the country in 2011, provides Ugandans with skills of unity, harmony, and peaceful coexistence through dialogue.
At the Nile Dialogue Platform, we believe in solving problems with dialogue. We believe that education is the key for development. We believe that if we manage to participate in eliminating poverty, we would have really cleared the way for people to live in harmony with one another. So those are
the Secretary General Nile Dialogue Platform, Issa Kira, informed the media in Kampala that the organization is holding an interfaith week aimed at enhancing peace, stability in the country through various platforms.
Let us be patriotic and love our country. Let us pray for our leaders so that their wisdom continue being enhanced by the Almighty God, so that He continue leading us properly. let's play for our president, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, so that God continue rewarding them with good health and wisdom, so that we enjoy the good leadership that we are enjoying today in this country. Thank you very much.
The meaningful interaction and exchange of ideas between people of different faith and cultural upbringing is meant to enhance peace and advancing social cohesion through dialogue.
God, the Almighty, and we believe in Him. He's the one who created me. He's the one who created you in with your religion, with your tribe, with your color. So it's none of my business to change you, to convert you to my side. I can inform you, but I can't stay with no sleep trying to saying what you have to change your belief.
Uganda is a home to many religious sects, cultures, and many jobless youth, and therefore a potential breeding ground for violence and extremism. A Strategic Nile Dialogue platform wants to nip in the bud through promoting unity and peace.
Our nation develops well when the youths take part in all the roles that take development forward. Therefore, in this Interfaith Harmony Week of 2023, we encourage all the youths, not only the youths, but every group. Let all Ugandans that can happen to be in this conference be around.
Joseph Oko and Dale Habrimana, UBC.
Furthermore, the Minister of Local Government, Raphael Majezi, has hailed the people of Isingiro South for being united and willing to associate with their leaders. Majezi said this while officiating the Thanksgiving ceremony of the Member of Parliament Isingiro South, Byarugaba Alex Bakuhunda, at Kambu Mbaizi Church of Uganda Primary School.
The Minister for Local Government, Raphael Majezi, says district service commissions are to be probed over alleged selling of jobs and extortion during interviews.
But we are going to carry out a bit of investigation in all the districts, arising from the concern of His Excellency the President at the NRM celebrations in Kakumiro, that the district service commissions are selling jobs, are demanding for money in order to recruit people. This is not acceptable, so we are going to carry out a thorough investigation of all the district service commissions. Anybody found on the wrong side of the law will certainly face the law as it is.
He explained that following recent comments by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni about corruption within the district service commissions, the ministry has now rolled out its investigations to catch the culprits. Majezi said this while officiating the Thanksgiving ceremony for the Member of Parliament Isingiro South Alex Byarugaba Bakunda at Kamubaizi Church of Uganda Primary School.
The locals, the population appreciates their leaders. This is Honorable Alex Byarugaba. He has been sick, he's back, and people came in big numbers. They want to see their leader. They want to pray for him. They want to thank God for him. I think for me this means we leaders, if you want this kind of appreciation from the public, you must serve them. Service delivery is what will lead you.
The Member of Parliament Isingiro South in Isingiro District, Byarugaba Alex Bakunda, said that since the 2021 elections, he has not been feeling well but pledged to continue working for his people.
I recall that immediately after my elections, I felt very sick, and since that time I have not had a good time at all. I have most of the time been in hospital, but recently I got some relief of sorts after very vigorous medical treatment, and I'm now a bit okay. So I felt it very necessary and important that I do give thanks to the Almighty God.
The parish priest Kenyina Kizimbire, Reverend Father Beda Tunomugisha, celebrated the Holy Mass and appealed to the public to maintain their faith in God.
Buganda Region Female Youth MP Agnes Chirabo has asked parents to continuously mentor their children and make them appreciate education. Agnes Chirabo hailed all children in Luwero sub-region who performed well in the recently released PLE results. She was officiating an event at Abusha schools where children, parents and teachers were celebrating the recently released results.
Buganda Region Female Youth MP Agnes Chirabo has advised private schools to register with the Ministry of Education and Sports to qualify for government support in case they are finding it difficult to continue providing quality education to the children.
Because our people, our parents we are not doing well. The economy is very bad. We know that all our businesses almost went down. They were off due to COVID, and some are just regaining or coming back to life. So we cannot really hike in school fees or pressure these parents to pay high fees.
The director, Abusha Schools, Major Abeka Kaluma, appealed to school managers to guide and mentor young learners into responsible citizens. He castigated the vice of homosexuality and lesbianism in schools.
I want them to be very strict with this current homosexual which is in our schools. I want to assure them that the children, these people, the background they have been given, it's a whole skill, the whole formation of a human being. And I want to assure you that I'm sure they are going to perform very well. And I want to wish them success, and I've been praying for them. I know they are going to make it wherever they are going to.
Luwero District Kadh Sheikh Ramadan Nsanja Mulindwa asked parents to prioritize education of their children for a secure future.
Call upon parents to work hard to ensure that our learners are able to stay in schools, and we call upon you to take our children to schools which are having both curriculum, the secular side and the theology side, in order to have good leaders of tomorrow. We believe that when you take the children to schools where they have co-curriculum activities, where they do religious studies and theology studies, we shall have good learners in the future who shall take on the mantle to lead our nation.
At the celebrations, pre-primary pupils joining primary 1 were graduated and rewarded for their good performances. 107 candidates sat and passed the 2022 exams.
The 2023 primary and post-primary school calendar is officially underway, with schools reopening the subject matter this week. At Caring Hearts Community Victory Church, which is also the home to Caring Hearts Primary School, the message to pupils and students is hard work, discipline and fear of the Lord. Details in this report.
Caring Hearts Community Victory Church on Kagula Hill, Kakiri Wakiso District has ushered in the 2023 primary and post-primary school first term with prayers and dedication, with learners and parents advised to persevere and work hard amidst the tough economic times.
Njagala kutira bazadde bannange bonna mu kiseera kino twefiirize kubanga obutasoma buluma bukulu. Twefiirize konna sobole okuzaayo abaana baffe ku masomero. Naye teeka omwana ku ssomero w'osobola ebisale. Tobuukirawo otajja kusobola kumalako n'ekyo.
The church hierarchy also offered a helping hand of scholastic materials to students including Jessica Nalwada, Alice Naiga and Elios Nalubega.
I'm speaking to my girls. I love the girls because in most times girls are very vulnerable, and most of their violators or abusers are the very people they trust. But I tell you, my girls, you can make it. I was a girl like you in school. So many challenges, but one thing I did, I trusted the Lord. Everything I brought it back to the Lord God, and He helped me to overcome, and I graduated.
Many times the teachers are neglected, yet they play the biggest part at schools, and is the reason why ahead of the term reopening, those at Caring Heart Primary School have been motivated with a cash incentive.
We look at the life of a learner. We teach the whole child, the whole of his life. We create a holistic environment for our learners.
This 2023 education program for primary and post-primary institutions returns the nation to a semblance of terms as Ugandans knew prior to the 2020 COVID-19 inspired lockdown that affected the system. At other schools we visited on reopening day, at a JIT Day and Boarding Primary School in Namawojolo, the director there, Haji Mohamed Mukwaya, advises schools to be lenient to parents.
This is based on the fact that schools are reporting today, and some parents expected the increment in school fees, but at JIT the school fees remain the same. I want to inform our parents that we gave them circulars the money which we put there is the money which they are supposed to pay.
Salongo Mukasa Mutiaba of Chiteza SSN Lugazi acknowledges a minimal increase in fees, but still very affordable vis-a-vis what the learners obtain in terms of knowledge.
Zuuliddwa nti abantu bangi badde bakisuubira nti okufuuka omuntu obuvunaanyizibwa olina kubeera ng'olina ekirala eky'enjawulo ky'olina okweyita. Naye ffe kye tunoonya y'enkulaakulana n'okuza abaana b'eggwanga mu ntendeka ennungi era n'okulaakulanya eggwanga lyaffe, tufune emiti emito egiri ku mutindo omulungi. Tutuno tuzimbye tuguddewo essomero lino olwaleero, abaana batandise okuyingirawo era school fees zisigadde nga zikyuseemu katono nnyo olw'ensonga nti waliwo obuntu obumu bulaba nga buliwo obutateekeddwa kulekebwa bbali nga tutulina naffe okubuleeta.
Uganda Cancer Society has asked government to create more home care services as opposed to institutionalized care services which inconvenience patients in terms of transport costs. Paul Pichokerenoyai, a board member at the Uganda Cancer Society, said this during World Cancer Day commemorations held in Mukono district. The executive director, Uganda Cancer Society, Dennis Obil, expressed concern over the lack of national cancer control plan, which may be a barrier to future efforts of ending cancer in Uganda.
The World Health Organization recommends that member states must have what we call National Cancer Control Plan. National Cancer Control Plan will spell out at what levels within the health system cancer services are supposed to be offered. Right now, we don't understand. When you go to a health center 2, go to a health center 3, in some places, actually across Uganda, every health center 4 has a cancer clinic, but many of them are not functional. So the National Cancer Control Plan is supposed to spell out that. On a day like World Cancer Day, we make a clarion call on government to ensure that in addition to decentralizing cancer services, they should expedite the adoption of National Cancer Control Plan. We are aware that the WHO has supported in terms of providing a consultant to help with the costing. It is now incumbent upon the Ministry of Health top management and cabinet to have the process of its adoption and implementation expedited.
People should really be courageous enough to fight cancer because we've heard it is preventable. They shouldn't fear. They should come to health facilities like this health center today to ask about cancer, availability of cancer services. If there are preventive services, they should be able to take them up. If there are curative services related to cancer, they should be able to take them up. So I'm very glad that the committee has come and has participated in this event, and we are looking forward to commemorating many more years of World Cancer Days in our country, and we appreciate the government for really putting these structures in place like the health centers. All we need are the technocrats from maybe Uganda Cancer Institute to come and train the health workers here to be able to manage cancer-related issues at such local community health facilities.
And with that, let's take a short commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with more UBC News Tonight. Stay tuned.
Sent to transport to the wrong person? Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
This is our family's pride.
This is my friend.
This is the future of our nation.
She is the future of Uganda,
and the policies I enact today will protect her from teenage pregnancy.
She is the hope of our community, and I will talk to others about how we must protect her.
She is our family's pride, and I will protect her from child marriage and talk to her about the dangers of teenage pregnancy. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from child marriage and pregnancy, because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Their support meant so much to me. I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Okay, so these receipts, okay, plus this one equals,
Keeping up with your transaction history the old way.
1,000. Okay, I got this. I don't. Okay, maybe if I can just...
Keeping up with your transaction history with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to keep an eye on your transaction history. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
It's easy.
Welcome back to the UBC News Tonight with me, Wadulo Mark Arnold. We now take you into the world of business. Now, earlier this week, I interacted with the chairperson of the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development Committee, Arnold Wadulo. The newly inaugurated committee is tasked to establish market systems and inform policy to both government and private sector on how Uganda can utilize its economic potential for development. Details in this report. Inaugurated on March 16, 2022, the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development set out 4 key priority areas, with organizing the marketplace as the first.
When you are not organized, you can't deal with science. You can't deal with transportation. You can't deal with research. Organizational weaknesses are cured when you have a functioning, effective public service that thinks private sector, timelines, deadlines, execution.
An exporter himself, Arnold Wadulo credits the industrial park model of economic growth and says that through zoning, strict implementation of work plans, and compliance with international standards, Uganda will see faster industrial growth than in the past years.
We've been using short-term capital to build long-term assets. An industrial park is long-term, because government must pull a road, electricity, water. It becomes expensive. But how about you pull us together? So the milk people have a park, the coffee people have a park, the tea people have a park. It's a fantastic strategy to first of all quickly take urban idle labor into one area where they work and take them back to work home in the evening. So this rush hour you see of border borders is because you have few industrial parks functioning.
By July 2022, Uganda's manufactured exports to total exports marked 20%, surpassing the NDP goal of 19% by 1 mark.
There is no institutional jurisdiction we are busting. No. We're a force multiplier. You must understand where we're coming from. So 5 out of 10 are suspicious of what you're trying to do, my authority, my department. And when you come from private sector like me, you have deadlines. Every time you switch on the lights, you pay. So if a month passes and I can't feel I'm making traction, it's very frustrating. Eh? So one of the things we've done is let's reach out to these key institutions and give them the necessary support to make exports paramount.
Ugandan business owners have been advised to extensively invest in market research if they plan to leverage the export opportunities in and out of Uganda in the coming years. Wadulo Arnold, UBC News in Kampala. And in other news, community members of Bulwanyi Village, Kajansi Town Council have called on the judiciary to speed up the case of land wrangles of Nantongo estates between Patel Prafyu and who is actually a Ugandan Indian and claims to be the original owner, and Ogudua T, an NRM historic who claims to have bought the land from Nantongo Estate after getting a sub-lease from it. However, community members claim Ogudua T has closed the roads that link the other villages and teachers that link to the other villages. However, community members claim Ogudua T has closed the road that links to other villages and torches, who, however, think he does not support him.
olw'ebiseera ebyo Lubani yali deputala disentebe yayitibwanga Bunduwa azinzeeko kanisa kyakyo ku Uganda nga giremesa okukola emirimu gyayo ng'agamba bali ku ttaka lye. Bwe twayita Lubani nga deputala disentebe yatuuka yamukubira saluti.
Well, that statement was community members claim Ogudua T has closed the roads off that link to other villages and tortures whoever he thinks does not support him. In other news, Uganda Railways Corporation engaged China Road and Bridges Corporation to undertake emergency repairs on the Mukono-Malaba railway line, including the Ginger Pierre line, at a cost of $51 million in 2021. Physical works on the project commenced in February 2022 and were expected to take 10 months. Let's hear what these details have to share.
China Road and Bridge Corporation says the rehabilitation works of the old meter gauge railway line between Mukono and Malaba is nearly completion. These emergency repairs were meant to allow seamless connection with the Malaba-Nairobi-Mombasa section of the meter gauge railway line. Physical works on the project is now 95% complete.
Rehabilitation works were aimed at allowing rail operations to go on. It should be remembered that by the time the concession was terminated, most of the rail infrastructure was in poor state. So when China Roads and Bridge Corporation came in, they were supposed to do emergency works on the line that would allow the train to move with cargo and passengers. So that is what they have done, and amongst the things they were supposed to do is to replace dilapidated sleepers, to replace dilapidated rails.
The Senior Public Relations and Communications Officer, Uganda Railway Corporation, Lennon Sengendo, wants all Ugandans to support these government development programs and desist from acts of vandalism of railway materials.
Of the sections of these lines were very bushy. We are very bushy. that it was making trains very, very difficult to move. So they've cleared the bushes. They've also done drainages alongside the rail lines. And these are, like I said, emergency works. Now, what remains, and government, because of the budget they had, they knew that they would source for more funding. So we have the African Development Bank, which is going to fill all the gaps. Now, it's going to be massive, all the gaps that have been left by the China roads and bridge. So this is not, these are not the final works on the lines. There are more projects that are coming, all aimed at making rail, improving the service of rail in this country.
Uganda Railway Corporation engaged China Road and Bridge Corporation to undertake emergency repairs on the Mukono-Malaba railway line, including the Jinja Pier line, at a cost of $51 million in 2021.
An Italian-founded NGO in West Nile, ACAV, is mobilizing refugees and host communities on how to promote agriculture to ensure sustainable livelihood in the camps. This is done by ensuring that refugees and host communities are engaged in food production.
Improving Livelihood and Food Security project funded by Gerda Henkel Foundation in Germany from 2020 and implemented with technical support from National Agricultural Research Organization is promoting food security in refugee hosting communities. The one-year project extension to December this year, funded by Autonomous Province of Trento in Italy, meant to benefit 900 farmers, is under Livelihood Sustainability for Refugees and Host Communities program within Rhino Camp settlement.
The Autonomous Province of Trento from Italy has been able to also support ACAV, accepted ACAV's proposal to continue the Gerda Henkel Stiftung Foundation that the Germans had funded for the last 4 years. And this time round, their funding is in a portfolio of 80,000 euros, and the ACAV is going to co-fund, add another 12,000 euros. The target for 2023 under now the Autonomous Province of Trento will be 900 smallholder farmers. The refugees will make 600 in number.
Limited access to land for agriculture by refugees, destruction of crops by stray animals, and prolonged sunshine are the main challenges refugees faced in the previous project implementation. They are calling upon local leaders to intervene on issues of stray animals.
But there comes a challenge that they don't have land, because the land that they settle in is either 30 or 25 by 25. And we have realized that the hosts that are around here, they don't have enough cattle that can be more destructive. But we have people who have moved from other regions as nomads, and they hire land from the host. And in the same area, land is also being hired to refugees, whereby most of their fields have been destroyed by these same cattle.
Local Council 1 chairpersons in Rhino Camp urged the refugees to involve them when they go to landlords for agricultural land. They also made an assurance to arrest stray animals, as Terego District local government has an ordinance in place to deal with that.
You know, formerly the refugees were going privately to landowners to request for some piece of land. Now what I was telling them is that they should not go privately. Let them come through the LCs.
The issue of stray animals, how we are going to deal with it is one, the Terego district has come up with an ordinances where these animals are going to be arrested.
Deputy Camp Commandant of Rhino Camp called upon refugees to embrace peaceful coexistence with the host so that some of the challenges faced, particularly in land acquisition, can be easily addressed.
There's no way you can have access to land. You cannot get the land for you to do livelihood programs if you sideline the host community.
currently in West Nile, food assistance by World Food Programme has continued to dwindle due to reduced donor funding. As per the 2020 statistics, Rhino Camp Settlement is home to 121,512 refugees out of the total population of 121,533 people in the area. Joseph Odama, UBC News.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Capote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Capote deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Capote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Regulated by UCC.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello? This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions, and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number, and you send it to her chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera. Refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes, 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. With Airtel, the smartphone network.
And now, in the world of sports, the Uganda Olympic Committee has hailed the Uganda Modern Pentathlon Federation for its efforts in the growth, development and expansion of the modern pentathlon sport in Uganda. Dr. Arnold Wadulo, the UOC president, made these remarks at the closing of a 5-day pentathlon CCP Level 1 coaching course on how to train the sport from grassroots. 16 coaches attended the training that took place between the 31st of January and 4th of February 2023 at Kampala Parents School.
"16 coaches are set to start training modern pentathlon in communities after completing a 5-day CCP Level 1 coaching course organized by the Uganda Modern Pentathlon Federation to equip coaches with the knowledge and skills to train and spread modern pentathlon across Uganda. The training took place at the Kampala Parents School between the 31st and 4th of February 2023. The training was conducted by renowned pentathlete Yasser Muhammad from Egypt, and the participants came from Uganda prisons, police, Uganda People's Defense Forces, schools like Chambogo University and Makerere University, among others.
In Uganda, a lot of coaches and a lot of calibers who have very good basis when speaking about sports, having very good knowledge about sports science, which is the part that it's not easy to learn, you know. So what I have done is just giving them the pentathlon experience, the basics of experience. I'm happy. I see a very big potential in this country to have a great model that in the future can be also spread in all the countries of Africa.
It has improved my coaching skills also so much
knowing that in the next coming events, I will do much better.
While speaking at the closing, Dr. Don Rukari, the President, Uganda Olympic Committee, said that the CCP Level 1 training is a stepping stone in spreading the Olympic sport across the country.
And this group of around 16 to 18 coaches are going to be very instrumental in advancing the sport of modern pentathlon across. Very exciting sport. It's one of the most ancient sports. It goes back to the founding father of the Olympics, Pierre Coubertin, who founded this sport. It has a number of disciplines in it. You have all the way from shooting with a laser gun, you have athletics, you have fencing, you have swimming. You used to have equestrian, which has now been, or horse riding, which has been replaced by ninja warriors, which is very popular with the young people. And therefore we believe that this is a sport that can actually be very popular with the young people. And we thank our instructor who has come here, and we look forward to this sport becoming bigger and bigger, and maybe one day qualifying for the Olympics. And therefore we believe that through President Simon and his team at the Federation, if they can have partnerships with both Egypt, with the International Federation, but also locally, where we can also have partnerships with the schools so that they can use their facilities and build the base out of Kampala. With the forces also, we believe that the sport of modern pentathlon will grow.
Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
And that brings us to the end of our 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience. Have yourselves a lovely week.